Okay, well, we're into the end of this thing here, and I hope it's recoverable, but obviously someone's been in here and made a bit of a mess of things. This is the nut on the end of the spindle. I'll put the spindle lock on. I need two hands to do this. I'm recording this and viewing on my camera, but viewing the recording on my phone, which I'll put down. So if I lock the spindle, I mean, that's just not right. And you can see all along here, someone's really butchered up this nut. You know, rather than make a tool or a wrench to fit it, someone's just kind of bashed away at it with a hammer and pin, hammer and punch, which is unfortunate. Okay, I needed to get a pair of glasses with a little more magnification. Now, this nut is being held in by that. Boy, that looks scruffy. I hope there's no broken pieces of metal in there. Should be able to get that lock washer out of the way, like so. All I was doing there was bending the tab up, and I can rotate this nut off. I really don't want to have to take the whole spindle apart, but I want to make sure there's no bits of metal in there. So that's what we have for the nut. Having a good look here to see what flakes or crap I can spot on it. There's some, but it's not terrible. And that's a SKF KM9C. I think I'm going to buy a new one of those. Just look at how brutally chewed up that is. Behind the nut, we have the lock washer. Somewhat of a pain to get out, as you can see. And then behind it with an Allen key. There we go. Again, doing a close inspection on it. It's no one's been in here. I'm not really finding any chips or anything that concerns me overly. Then there's our big angular contact bearing, one of the pair. And then there's roller bearings, I presume, at the front, although I haven't been in there. So I think if I just put this back together, wipe everything down and put it back together, I'm going to try this again and see what sort of run out I get. There's no, I wouldn't mind getting a new one of these either. I'm just going to turn the camera off for a second and file off any little burrs here just so that they don't ever fall off into the bearing. Okay, this spanner is pretty much the right size. Question is, will I be able to get in there, because the nut's a little recessed. If I can't, I'll have to make something. And you know, don't just do a hack job. If you need a tool, a specialty tool, especially with spindle work, and this happens all the time. In the little 11s, I think I've had to make 3 or 4 different specialty wrenches to get them apart. Make what you need, don't hack it. So I don't know whether this spindle has been disassembled but these bearings aren't even close to being tight. I think when I'm turning this right now, and I'm breaking my own rule, I am using a brass punch, but only because this ring is already pretty messed up, so I'm not hurting it any worse than it's already hurt, and the intent is to replace it. But you can see I'm tapping this nut more tightly, and it's just going and going and going and going. So I think I'm just sleeving the bearing down on the shaft more. Yeah, that nut is as tight as it's going to go without breaking something. And I can see here, I can't really get a camera angle on it, I don't think, but I can see through here that this back bearing is not even rotating. This is I believe this is a pair of angular contact bearings, and then up front is some roller bearings, but this bearing here is not even rolling. So those angular contact bearings aren't yet brought together. Okay, hopefully the indicator is exposed and in focus. I've set up the indicator here. This is an inner upper tense indicator to check the spindle end play, and something's really wrong with this. There's about 8 thou, well 9 thou of play, 8 thou of play I should say. So there's at one end, we're at 2. I don't know if you could see that. You'd need a high, I'll try and do it slowly. So we're just left of 0 there, all the way around past 0 to, and that's at least 10 thou. So starting again, I've pushed it all the way towards the tailstock. I slowly press in, and there, that's 9.5 thou. There's from 1. We go all the way back past 1. There's 10.5 thou. Something's not right in there. And this rear bearing, it's rotating now. Earlier it wasn't rotating, so if the spindle is pressed forward, that rear bearing's not rotating. Well, it is sometimes. Anyways, it's clear that the angular contact bearings are not sandwiched together properly, or both of them would be rotating.